All right, like I was saying now, when these things start coming out, right? When I first started and seeing these Egyptian pictures that was coming on my wall, you know, it starts now coming, like you could see it moving. It's like it turned into a four-dimensional image on my wall. It had depth to it and everything. I got videos, I'll post them, but it's like if I don't tell you these things, y'all just will overlook it and just not pay attention to it, because it's probably in a lot of our homes now and we just don't know what they are. Just like you see things flash through your eyes and you don't know what to do with them. I do, you know, but this is from learning all of that stuff. I took the time out to do it, so I'm not telling you nothing weird, paranormal. I'm very intelligent and I'm very coherent to life, you know. I know what I'm talking about, trust me, you know. So now when this images start coming out, these Egyptian gods, because that's when I start repping gods now. I'm a god and there is gods, because I see these big ass people that turn out from a little orb and it's like it opens up. I understood when I see the Egyptians with the flower in front of their face now. The flower represents the chakras, the petals of the chakras. You know, each chakra has a certain amount of petals to it, 9, 40 with 1,000 over the head. Each one has to unfold. They've been unfolding through different epochs of our lives, you know, and then they go dormant for a while, and your job is to unfold the next wheel. It's the wheel of Ezekiel. So when they say that Ezekiel saw God, he didn't see your God. He saw himself, his true self, and that's through his chakras, the wheels. It was a psychic vision. It's all of them. Daniel, it's the same thing. Even John on the island, that was himself he saw. He didn't see no God or none of that stuff. Everybody got their higher self, and once we're able to see that, that's the first thing you're going to see is the will, your eyes you're going to see all over the place. You're inside your body, Golgotha, and the Bible know it too. That's why Golgotha is your skull. You go in your skull as a subatomic particle. You become Ant-Man. But if you don't know all this Kundalini science from the East, you kind of lost. This is, you know this too, Raja yoga and Hatha yoga. These are the highest levels of yoga. You're talking about the absolute, just dealing with absolute energy. Not no shit where you going around folding yourself in funny positions. Those is to heal the body. That's if your body's out of order and to keep it in place. But you know, there's different yogas to get you to meet the higher beings. There's different yoga to discipline yourself to be a superior being up there. For you to get up there, you can't have certain desires or qualities about you. These yogas now teach you the discipline. And so that's what we first have to learn. And so when you, a regular person like how I was prior to the 2 years ago, you're not alive, you're not knowing, because knowing is not knowing one side of the coin, which is just your 5 senses, is knowing both sides of the coin. So that will give you now more senses, the other half that you're missing. So you're only seeing life from like the perspective of the bottom of the earth looking up at the sun. You don't know if the sun is round. You don't know if it's a flat disc. You don't know nothing. But we try to speculate and say we do. You're not going to be able to until you goes on all 4 sides of the sun and see what it is, if it is really a circle. You know, if it's a hole, what it is. But that's how we look at life. We look at it from just one perspective of seeing a tree or whatever from the angle we're in, and we judge it and we decide. But it has a spiritual side to it that connects with your psychic cannabinoid system, and it takes you to it. So that's how the doggons, everybody was able to do what they was doing, and the Egyptian map out the sky. That's why you see it's one small hole in the pyramid for light to come through. It wasn't really for light to come through. It's for them to see out of, because that's what you need. You just need to have your focus that concentrated that you look through that one little hole. And with you doing that and change your breathing, now you're in another dimension, another world. And so you connect spiritually with these celestial beings and these constellational beings. It's our star beings. These are our true selves, and they know who we are and can give us help and the answers. So that's what, when I tell you they come up in my ceiling and on my walls, that's what it was. They've been waiting, and they're trying to connect with whoever's genetically like them or could actually take the pressures to resonate at a new frequency. Now, the reason why I was able to resonate at a new frequency, I was already by default in a situation from catching thyroid where, you know, my thyroid made my harmonics change. I went from just being normal 170, 75-pound dude to hyperthyroid. With hyperthyroid, I went down to like 140, 130, and you know, constantly taking Paralell and all that stuff. My heart rate is crazy. And you know, I wasn't having no visions, none of that stuff then. I just was weak. But I was still out there having to work. You know, when you're on the contract and doing certain things, you can, you know, day off even when you're dying and shit. So I was out doing shit beyond normal that I wasn't supposed to be doing. You know, it's a long story. I could break that all down. Niggas should have been home with family. You know, that's another thing. We take on these families things and meet these relationships, and then we get stuck in them where we just got to be a slave, a worker for ourselves. And when shit get bad, we could barely take a day off to heal ourselves back. And if we would have stood home with our parents and, you know, just do what we supposed to do and chip in and fuck all that privacy, you don't need all that yet. You need to be able to put yourself in a saving position, financial redemption first. Then you can leave home, not go get a job just to pay rent and have your space. That shit costs. We got to reconstruct it. So yeah, I was the mundane, and with the thyroid, losing weight, still busting my ass out there working, and I'm doing construction. I'm a contractor by trade, and so I'm redoing apartments at 140 pounds, setting up my horse, my tools, everything, bringing up drywall, changing tiles in bathroom, bringing in and out bathtubs, all that stupid shit that now that I'm conscious, I would have never did. I would have probably, let me just be quiet, because I'm a very nice person. But, you know, at the end of the day, when I learned that, you know, the thyroid now kicks in, this now changes your metabolism. Everything changes. And so you now vibrating at a new frequency. And this new frequency is the frequency that you were supposed to be vibrating at. So when I caught the hyperthyroid to the mundane world and the material world, I was sick. But I didn't get sick. I was evolving. It was, how do you live with it? How do you fix yourself? How do you come back to normal from a situation that you would say is a disease? And the answer is in the word itself. It's a disease. It's a disharmony. You just got to reharmonize back yourself with nature and yourself. And so that's why my journey I had to go on. But at that time, being a mundane and Simba from the Lion King, I'm green. I let the doctors tell me whatever it is, and I start taking their medication, letting them kill all my thyroid glands. That's why I go a lot. It's an overproductive thyroid gland. But it's good for me. It takes me to the spiritual world. But for them, it didn't work when they tried to kill my thyroid glands using radioactive iodine treatment and all that, which I was kind of against, but it seems like the right thing to do when you're mundane and you're educated by them. That's all they have as an option, and their body and their endocrinology system don't have to synchronize. And that's another problem y'all got to come to, all that tonsil removing, and anything you take out disqualifies you from the higher worlds. Whatever's coming out, it comes out by itself. Don't let nobody take anything out of you, because what they don't have, you have. And I'm not saying it in a sense like that, but some people are born without a soul. They're not really human. To be honest, we're not human no more. Humans, if you saw a human, you're talking about somebody 7 to 8 feet tall, muscular, dark skin. That's a human. They're gone a long time ago. We're here now. We're aliens pretending to be humans. So we don't have souls. We don't have inner natures. Some of us exist under circumstances that don't meet human requirements, such as genetically modified foods, the atmosphere, the constant spraying of the air with different chemicals, you know, CERN putting in their magnetic field and position stuff, shit to control our minds, elf waves beating us down, Tesla coming with electricity. All these stuff is dangerous stuff to the brain wave. Our wave of our brain is always on the same level of those frequencies. We have a 7.8 megahertz frequency of our brain that make us have thoughts, emotions, everything work on that level. If you was able to tap into it, you could tweak it with current to make a person react and do whatever you want by adding 1 volt at a time or 0.1 millivolt at a time. Will make him raise his finger, get emotional, cry, get horny by each production of this level. And so now when Tesla made up electricity and current, you see, the Edison was the right one. He made it against that it don't affect our system. Direct current don't affect human system because it works off a different megahertz. But when you're talking AC, alternating current, you making an alter between electricity and then magnet. Direct current go one way, it's direct only, which is use a magnetic, got a EMF backdraft, but it's not dangerous to human beings. But now when you're talking AC, being that electricity is going from magnetic to magnetic, you get an electromagnetic field that fucks with human beings. So when you have wires running in your house, electrical outlet running in your house, those is to keep you in this matrix, to make you think that this world is a solid world and everything is real. They trick you with all that. That's why they spend millions of dollars to wire up this shit. And so by them doing that, they also now tap into you. They're able to control your thoughts, control how you feel. It's not hard to break it, but it's hard to get out of it. It become a comfort zone for us. It's like, you know, telling somebody you're free. If somebody is free, they're going to do anything. They're going to feel like they could do anything for real. They don't have no empathy or what you say, care for anybody else that's going to get hurt while they're doing anything. And so once you lose that, this is where we're at. Free world, freedom, do this. While we're destroying other peoples amongst our own family, other nations, other groups and ethnicities, and we don't care. As long as you're patriotic to America, that's it. Because when the ship pops off, y'all gonna run to them for help. Y'all ain't gonna be able to defend nobody. But this is the thing, we're not here for that. So I'm putting this in a 360 so you fully understand that why I'm coming at you, why you can't equate it to these stuff like it's some black movement, conscious movement, metaphysical story. No. This is an awakening to some truth that I didn't even know. And that's all I'm doing is posting my truth. You could equate it to whatever you want, say words that society made up, the system made up. We didn't make those up, so we can't, even Merkaba, chakra, all that shit, we didn't make none of these names up, so I don't name it, and we didn't. If you was an African in Africa doing your spirituality, and somebody come and ask you, what are you doing? How you do that? You looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is what we do. But when you like, yo, you go and you build the altar and you get the shem and you put the shem on it, nah. White people done saw that, observed it, and wrote it down and then came back and told y'all this. It don't work like that. That's why the Egyptians never had no books describing how they do it, what to do and all that stuff, because everybody was doing it and it's natural. And now later, when they lost all of that, we need a book on how to be you, how to be natural, how to do it. I don't teach by doing it that way. I put pressure on you. That's why the Egyptians sit with the whole 2 heavy 5-pound medicine balls in their hands on their knees with their toes bent back. Because pressure is the key to program you. It's like opening the hood of a car and going underneath it and then tweaking it out. But you have to open the hood first and put it into service mode. And so by you putting yourself in those positions, you actually open up your consciousness to being, you know, some would say possessed, but it's rewriting your DNA. This is how you activate your DNA and turn off your DNA. Now, back to the word possession, you know, that's a trick. That's a decoy. You're possessed. Everybody is possessed. Even for you to stand straight, it's mad spirits holding you up with energies. It's your scalar waves. With the scalar energy, of what we call energies, really spirits that is holding you up. So energies was holding you up. Energy against you and you opposing this energy makes everything happen. So we don't realize what's really going on. You already possessed by spirits. You are a spirit. And it's the energies of the spirit that gives you motion, that gives you life. And so when you're thinking, yo, I'm possessing myself with something, or I'm doing this, no, whatever you possess yourself with is already written in your DNA. Yes, brother. Yes, Def. Manas. It's already in your DNA. You can't see nothing that's not already here already. That's inside of you. It's already in you. So you know already. I don't even want to go into the science of, it's no trees out here. It's nothing out here. You're in some dark, ugly, crazy shit. If you was to see what you're in, you'd be scared to death. But it's what we see is inside your head. Science told you that. Images is interpreted in your brain. So what are you in? Why is it that they're showing it to you inside your head? Why isn't it really here? You're in some fucked up shit and don't know it. Trust me, even like what you call air, if you see what it is in its raw form, it'll fuck you up. It's not air. You in something. It's more to make it, you in a cave. And only thing that stops it from over suffocating you is your perception. You pushing on it, pushing out. You're not even moving. Let me break that down to you, how you're not moving. Look at a bunch of lights on a piece of wood. And each light now is in rows. 3 rows or 4 rows of lights like this. Each light going down, we got rows. Now, this first light, if I was to turn on the switch on it and turn it off, and to the next one, you'll have a pattern of lights going like this. All right, now, this light never moved. The first light never moved. It was the electricity that jumped over on each light bulb. That's how you think you're moving. You're not moving. Your consciousness is moving. You got it? You're the light bulb, flicking off and on in matter, or what we call a dimension. And so you project like you're going forward, and it seems like you're going forward. You never move though. You're just in one spot all the time. And you perceive these actions and you think it's real because your energy. Remember, you don't eat food. You don't put a piece of dumpling in your mouth and swallow it. You chew it up to get the energy out of it because you're an energy vampire. You eat energy. Energy is the only thing that makes you survive, not an orange itself, not the fruit, not what you're eating. It's what's in it. You could obtain that from the sun. You could obtain that from light too. That's how the Sufis do it. So now you're getting a different understanding of where I'm trying to head with this, right? These Egyptian spirits now, when they come, they change all of that. And it's because of my fact that I went through the hyperthyroid, was made me able to facilitate those type of changes and not feel discomfort, because I do feel like my heart rate go up. If you ever watch my videos when I'm frozen and I'm staring doing my reptilian eye thing, it's the camera is shaking like this. My heart rate is that powerful now, and inside of me I'm going about 1 billion miles per hour. I travel in the astral world, and a lot of I even taught my neighbor now, and when we go, it's like Star Trek when you see all the lights go by fast. You just like going into warp thing. I never used to go that fast. I used to go like how I'm walking here and observe everything. Fucking with these young motherfuckers, these niggas wanna Yu-Gi-Oh on your ass. So I Yu-Gi-Oh with them too. So anyways, I'm just saying, in the astral, everything is faster. How this works is like you have a perception. Remember, we're talking angles now. We're existing in a 45-degree angle, or 90-degree angle to be exact. Anything that exists has to be in a 90-degree reflection of light. It can't exist in no other angle of the light. And so when you switch 90-degree angles, you switch dimensions. So our existence of probability is incredible for it to be in this 90-degree angle. But my point to this now is the same way we do that in this world to see is the same way you see back into that world. Meaning you freeze and your soul start moving. The body and the soul can't move. When you move, when you're thinking, when you're building, the soul is muerto, dead. You understand what I'm saying? But once you start staying still, like you're going to sleep and you're about to get tired, or you're staring at a computer, reading a book, the soul starts bullshit and wake up. Because both of y'all can't move at the same time. So you have to stay still. That's what meditation do, make you stay still so the soul could do everything, you know? And so now this thing where the soul start taking over once you slow down is really the power of the Egyptians. You see, I would say they're 100% draconian. They're 100% Anunnaki. The world turned against them. I don't see the world turning against no other culture. Because of the simple fact they turn against them, you get to see, is because they possess the truth and all the wisdom that we reside in today and what we learn. So you can't allow that to come out if you a government, because you got the top knowledge. You know, that's why they sacked the Library of Alexander, claimed they burned it down and took all the books, because of the simple fact is they confiscated that under, you know, the secret government, the shadow government, and gave us ABC books so that they could separate our level of intelligence and they could have intelligence. That's why it's called intelligence. To survey us is to do surveillance on us is called intelligence. Because that's what they have over us, those knowledge, the occult knowledge. Once you get the occult knowledge, and you got the same thing they got. They know smarter than you, but they're not going to give it to you. They dumb you down and lie to you. And it's simple to understand that, because just like you're in the United States is not an original place. It was created in 1492. Even if it was before that, we're going to use 1492 because Christopher Columbus came here, you know, trying to clear out the land so they could stick us in there. And so once they stuck us in, the only thing they did was rewrite a book from the East called the Bible and gave it to us. We had no knowledge. What knowledge we have? But so where's the knowledge of our ancient ancestors prior to 1492? We don't know nothing of it. They lied to us about the Moors. They got us attacking the Moors like the Moors is not the Egyptians. Y'all are so silly. That's silly stuff, man. So listen, what is going on here? The Egyptians know everything and have the key to everything. But they're going to hide it from y'all. And then they got the Egyptians to be the Anunnakis. They got the Egyptians to be the reptilians. They got the Egyptians to be the Dracos. Yes, that's who we are then. To summarize it, in our pure form, we're what these things that I love and I'm here for. And that's what I denounce my blackness and the black nation. I denounce that shit to be an Egyptian Afri. Motherfucking word that they made up African from the real word Afri. That's what I am. An Afri is an anamorphic being that changes like a cloud. That's who our ancestors was, them tribe African peoples, if you talk to them, what they did and how they moved. You gotta understand, when we hunt animals at night under the starlight, lions run from us, man. Bears run from us, man. We didn't have no weapons. Weapons? They came with all that. Nah, man. We stay still and transform. When them animals used to see the soul of us and what we did, them niggas run. And we hunt them down and chase them and grab them. You see the bird? He's there to verify the truth of what I said. I see these things. They show it to us who we are, man. Starlight. Under starlight we change, and we still do. Only the spiritual eye can see it, though, and those that practice the true science. So that's why I got something to bring to you. I'm going to bring you the whole science, how to transform everything. And don't expect to transform in the physical. Look through your camera. It's the same as looking through a mirror. How mirrors work. Mirrors show you your soul. You know that, right? And it shows you your 117 other bodies, too. How? All right, simple. Your normal eye, it could only move up to the speed of light, the black part. It could detect normal senses. It detects 3 dimensions. The white part of your eye is a whole nother thing. Oh man, I love it. The white part of your eye, it moves about 10 times the speed of light. So them little flashes you see going by, those is them. But only reason you catch it in the flash of your eye is because you're peripheral viewing. When you're peripheral viewing, you caught it when you was looking straight ahead and something flashed this way. But instead, you know, we do it in meditation. In meditation, we practice the 90-degree angle, meaning you can't turn your head. You can't shift your eyes. Everything dies. You have to stay focused straight ahead. And you leave your eyes now as like the autopilot, and you in the peripherals of yourself. That's how you move. That's how you see. And so you don't see your peripheral where you have to move it now. You in the peripheral like a subatomic particle floating all around, so you get good control. And if you don't try to move something, like say if something is over here and you want to pull it over here in the astral, you don't think it. You already should be aligned. If you're in the astral, your spirits and everything is working with you. Everything is one. So you think it like before you even go and just force it and try to move it. If you say, I'm gonna move this over, I'll move it over, it already is gonna move over. It know where you want it at. And they work with you. It's nothing against you. It's when you just come and force it and try to push it over, it's gonna automatically push back. You're in a world that anything you try to do against it, it's gonna go against you. So you don't do it, you unite with it. Like I said, if you want it to move, just think, I'm gonna move it over here. And it start moving over before you could go do anything. That's simple. And so it taught me a lot, you know. And I just wanted to share that importance with you because this video getting long. I'm gonna continue on the next one. University of Conscious Science.